Hello guys, you're watching Geeks Assemble, and today we're doing episode 7 and 8 of Daybreak, which is a Netflix original drama. And if you haven't already, check out my review of episode 1 to 6, really. Yeah, so you might as well check out them reviews, but without further ado, let's get on to today's review, episode 7 and 8, where next week will be the finale, so we'll be reviewing that as well. Anyway, yeah, Daybreak, episode 7 was definitely a powerful, weird one. So basically we start off with Miss Crumble, the, goonie, is it? I call them zombies. So the zombie teacher, I call Miss Crumble. So the zombie teacher, basically, she's remembering herself, she's remembering her past, but it's all jumbled up in a weird, sitcom TV audience laughing and clapping, and you're getting somewhere with the story, then it stops, and then you take a break, and then behind the scenes you see certain things with the little girl, Nissa, I think I'm going to call her little girl, and you have conversations with the zombie teacher and that's very interesting. You get to see their dynamic. We've seen the little girl, what she thinks of the zombie teacher, but then we see the zombie teacher see what she thinks of the little girl, and you see their connection, and it blossoms, and I like that. But we also get to see the powerfulness of this zombie teacher. She's changed, and she's remembering her past, and that's good that she remembers her past, but by the end of the episode she realises, yes, that's my past, but I'm turning into something different now, and she accepts that, and she accepts her surroundings and what she's got now, and I think that's very powerful. And then the little girl, she's finally got into this club that she can own and belong in. She's took all the tests and the trials and passed them with the cheerleaders. I don't know, the girls, these girls group that they're trying to get with, and by the end of it, she passes all of it, and then decides not to be with the cheerleaders, them girl group, and fight. She decides to be with Miss Crumble, the zombie teacher, and you just show that, yes, this is something she's always wanted, but she wants something else different now, and she's slowly coming together. I think this brings their characters quite well. Also, meanwhile, we've got Josh, and Josh is kicking Eli and the ninja guy, and he kicked the little girl out, and basically, because they betrayed him, they said Sam was dead, and obviously he knew from last episode that she weren't, and I like that. He's gone in outrage, and he's flipped on them, and he's like, you're out the mall. And Eli, there's loads of funny scenes where he's trying to get into the mall again, and he's trying to sneak in with disguises and stuff like that, and it's funny. And yeah, I love that, and it's quite comedic. And then finally this other girl arrives and basically puts Josh on a moment, a timeout, and shows him that, yes, there's all these tribes, but we work together. We work best when we're together. There's all these certain scenarios, and you're always so isolated and doing your own little things. You work better when you're all together as a team, and I think that's very of everything, really. You work best when you're a team unit than on your own sort of tactic. And yeah, you may be surviving and it's working, but it won't work for long. And we also get Turbo smashing stuff and not trusting any of his gang, and there's no trust there's no teamwork, bonding, and they need a teacher, they need someone to teach them, and I think that's interesting as well. Josh is getting taught by this girl about certain stuff, then Miss Crumble and the little girl, she needs a teacher, she needs to teach, and then you've got Turbo and his gang needing a leader, a teacher to teach them, which Turbo's not doing. So what they do, they release their head teacher, and that is, wow. Sam's there. We finally get to see Sam, not in flashbacks, but in actual form, her slaving away for Turbo and going back on her face, but then they come together. The head, Sam and this other person, and they go to the head teacher. They also sacrifice the geeky person, the last one of those, and okay. Barry, I think, gets killed off by the head teacher, so okay. But the head teacher is now in charge of Turbo's gang. What's going to happen next? We have to check episode 8. So let's review episode 8 now. Right, now for the next episode. Yeah, so this episode's very different tone. We finally learn about Josh and Sam's relationship properly towards the end of where they've having a good time and stuff like that. Then they come to a part where they get it on, they have sex, and Josh's first time, he thinks it's Sam's first time as well. And that causes friction when he finds out that, no, she's had many other guys and you shouldn't really just expect that sort of thing, And with that into play, basically, we got him finding out and he didn't like that, and then she had a scene where she was showing him she can be anything. She's doing stuff that she wouldn't normally do, or maybe she does, and he doesn't expect she would do that sort of thing. And she orders loads of food and gets him to try different things because they're at a time in their life where they can try different things. They need to. They didn't just have to be routine. It can be different and it can be fresh, and I like that. I like where the story's going with this. You get to see the dynamic with that, and of course, by the end of the episode, he's been having a call off his mom, calling. He finally answers it, and his dad's passed away, and he's upset, and he blames Sam spending the whole day with her when he could have been doing something with his dad or something like that, and he blames her, and she goes off upset, and that's the end of that relationship really. And they've gone off to the prom, and she's upset, but she sees Ninja, and we get a scene with Ninja, and which was obviously relating to another story. I love how they're all connected, that all these stories cross over each other, and there's certain things that play a little part in that story, but then we go and see a couple of episodes later and we get a flashback and it actually plays a vital part for something else. And I love that that's what this show's been doing. And yeah, it was quite nice to see Sam and Josh get in together. Then they finally have sex, and it causes conflict. It causes, Josh thought it was her first time as well, and the judgment he gave her, and she was furious with that, and she kind of acted like something she wouldn't act like, or acted like she would act, but he didn't expect her to act like, I don't know, but she started acting a different way to show, look, you have some idea of what I am, but I'm something completely different, and you can't just keep labeling me in this box. So I like that she was fighting back with that, and she ordered loads of food and get him to try loads of food, so it tastes different, and exploring. All these days it's repetition, and there's something different that way. Yeah. Also, we have obviously the flower, the representation of a sunflower. It's a food, it's a medicine, but it also can withstand radiation and stuff like that, and it can change its form and stuff like that. So we get the idea of Sam wanting to be like that flower, experimenting, be something, just not one thing. It can be multiple things, and I think that's what everyone should be like. It shouldn't just be one box sort of thing. Also relates to people being nasty on the internet and commenting like, oh, girls don't have a bigger tits, or that guy is bigger and stuff like that. It relates to that with the photos really, and nasty comments, and it's very down to earth. I think that this episode definitely tackles that, and I think that's really good. So yeah, this story is really good, solid story, and we get an in-depth of what happened with Sam and Josh, and we learn that Josh kinda messed it up with Sam, and we didn't really know that. We kinda knew he was after her to love, maybe, and dynamic like that, but maybe he feels bad as well of how things ended. And now we're on to the finale next week. So join me next week for episode 9 and 10, and that's it for Daybreak. So put down in the comments if you've seen this episode, what did you think of it? Give this video a thumbs up, get the little bell so you don't miss a video, and subscribe, because you might as well join us on the journey. We're trying to hit a certain goal on the channel. It'd be amazing if we could get there. Also, yeah, we do movie reviews like Marvel, Indiana Jones, or TV shows like Sherlock or Agent of S.H.I.E.L.D., Being Human. There's plenty of shows and movies we're going to be reviewing, so you might as well subscribe and join us on the journey, because you never know what we're going to review next. And I'll see you guys for another video very soon. Have a nice day.